A beautiful sunrise over Joe Mary Lake. Beautiful morning. Time to get cranking. Well, good morning, everybody. Hope you had an awesome night's sleep. Maybe enjoying a cup of coffee this morning. Had a decent sleep last night in the tent. Just really wasn't on perfectly level ground, and so you find yourself kind of sliding, and then you're correcting the slide, and then you slide again, and you're correcting the slide. So it's one of those things that ongoingly you have to work on, but it's hard to find just a perfectly flat piece of natural ground. I'm not good at it, but it was nicely located beside the lake, so that was beautiful this morning with the sunrise. Got up and had me a honey bun, and I'm ready to conquer the world. So we have a big day today. It's going to be one of those days where it's going to be important just to keep the feet moving. It's 6 o'clock straight up, and so the good news is we get to start earlier today. I like an early start. 6 is where I prefer to be versus 9. I've been doing 9 o'clock starts for the past few days while I was staying at the hostel, but when you're staying out here, you can control the clock, manage your own time, and starting at 6 is just like versus 9 is like giving you extra 6 hours, extra 3 hours, or extra 6 miles of walking. So that's what my plans are today. It's just to keep on walking. We got a big day, and this is going to be a tougher day in terms of the terrain. Relatively not huge climbs. I think the highest peak if you have it, is 1,500 feet. But when you're starting at 500 feet, that's still a pretty good climb. And that'll come in fairly late in the day as well, after we've already hiked probably 15 miles. Then we'll be doing that hike. So there's some things that's up ahead of me. I know are some challenges. But probably the bigger challenge today is I'm doing 21.7 miles today. So that's a big day. And you guys who've watched the channel for a while know that I have hiked probably, I don't know, maybe 10 days, 10 times I would say, over 20 miles a day. But I don't like to do it, and I've said it more than a few times. This is my last time. It's my last time. I can say with pretty much confidence, this is the last time. So that's at least my target there's opportunities with this ground to pull up early if I need to, but hopefully I don't need to. 21.7 gets me into Rainbow, I think it's Rainbow Ledges Campground, and I hope that I can make it to that spot. That'll be the plan, because that sets us up nicely for a shorter day the next day, going into A-Ball Bridge and the beginning of Baxter State Park. So one last big day, one last big push is the plan. It might be my last big day, last big push forever. I don't know. I know I got miles down south, but I can manage those however I like to, and I probably won't be doing 20s. So I hope everybody's having an awesome day, and we'll keep you posted with any really cool stuff as we come across it, and we'll catch up with you further down the path. All right, everybody, just thought I'd give you a quick early afternoon update, status report. Just been doing a lot of walking in the woods along the lake or pond sides, and I think I referenced early today that we had one climb that went up to a whopping 1,500 feet, but unfortunately it's about a 1,000-foot climb. It's all relative to where you begin, of course. So I'm in the midst of doing that climb, and I thought it'd be a good time to stop and just catch up a little bit. So currently, of course, we started out with a 17.6 mile day. We've got less than 8 miles left to go today, and I expect to be done probably about like yesterday, probably by 5:30 or so. So 21.7. What's that mean? We've finished almost 14 miles. So we're in good shape, I think. Just nothing but time and keeping the feet moving. But it's it's just a long, hard day, and it's warmed up a good bit this afternoon. I know a lot of people in mid-Atlantic and the South are really living with a lot of 90 something. We're probably at the low 80s right now, which is pretty warm for around here. It gets muggy. It just really gets muggy. I guess all the water sources around here, it just gets really muggy. So we just got to keep on pressing on and getting her done. But I am making pretty good progress, I think. You know, it's just one of those, again, just a long day where if you keep your feet moving, you're okay. You do a lot of stopping and tying your shoe and checking your phone and all that sort of stuff. A long day just gets longer. So we gotta stay focused on what we're out here to do and get her done. All right, hope everybody's having an awesome day, and we'll catch up with you a little further down the path. All right, everybody. Up and around this big old boulder, I think's where I'm going. As you can see, I'm far from reaching the top of this climb. That's where I came from. So we're still climbing, making our way up, slowly but surely. I'll be glad to get this day done. It's 21.7 is not a day I typically want to do. But again, as it typically what I usually say, it's just the way the miles worked out. The reality of it is I could have spread miles, put some in tomorrow, but I really need to get in to my location tomorrow a little earlier, like shortly after lunch if possible. So because of that, we do this, but that's all right. It's the last one I'm gonna do. Maybe forever, but I never say forever, because you never know what might be in front of you. That's where we're going. Okay, everybody, we have made it to the top of our climb, 1,560 feet. The Fixin To Hikes. It was easier to climb it than it was to say it. The Cinnabon. All right, either way, we're finished with the climbing. So we're headed back down. I think we got a bump where we got to go down and then come back up a little bit too. So when I say we're done with the climbing, I don't really mean completely done with climbing. So, but hopefully the trail will be a little bit easier as we head downward. All right, catch y'all down the path. All right, everybody, we're still making our way down this mountain that I can't say the name of. Cinnabunka, I don't know. But got some nice views of the lake and the mountains below us. I think it's the hardest thing for me to get used to is all these big old lakes and there's not a boat on them, not a boat. Now, how would you get a boat in here? It's wilderness area. But there's no one fishing or skiing or just quiet. Okay, let's keep on pressing on. All right, everybody, same view. I just stepped down a little bit further and did a little bit of study. And look what I see in the very far distance. You can see the outline of that mountain on top of that other mountain. That is Mount Katahdin for sure. It's kind of hard to imagine, but in 3 days, at most 4 days, barring injury or poor weather, I'll be at the top of that mountain right there. 3, no more than 4. Mount Katahdin. Pretty cool. Nice pretty waterfall along the trail. We are tracking within 2 miles of the shelter, and I got to be honest with you, I am bushed. I know you guys hadn't seen Jim too much today. We're hiking together, but just not right together. So he's behind me for sure. I saw him at lunch, and I'm probably at lunch. I was probably 10 or 15 minutes ahead of him, and of course he caught me at lunch, and we were pretty close. I might have left 5 minutes before him. So I think we're both probably just slowing down big time, because I'm surprised he hasn't run completely over me. I just have lost all the juice late in the day now. I usually say 18 miles is about my limit. We passed that a while ago. So we're over 20 now. So I'm just going to have to keep my head down, keep pressing on, getting it done. Water shouldn't be a problem, that's for sure. Really nice. All right, everybody. Welcome to my home for the evening. Tent site. We did make it to the shelter. The shelter is down there. I don't know if you can maybe see it through the woods. I don't know. It's right in there on the other side of the trees. But then in front of the shelter is nice water sources, or basically a stream that runs right in the middle of that. So we accomplished what we intended to accomplish today with 21.7 miles. And I've got to tell you, I'm feeling it. Jim made it in. He got his tent set up. We both went down to the shelter and cooked our dinner up and kind of shutting it down for the day. I think we've agreed that we're going to start a little later tomorrow, probably like 6:30, really late. Tomorrow's going to be a lighter day. So we got 14 miles roughly to get into across A-Ball Bridge and basically right to the edge of Baxter State Park. And there's a little store there on the left where you can, resupply and get some ice cream. And yeah, we're going to eat a lot of food and then make our plans accordingly. From where we're standing right now, we're about 29 miles to the top of Mount Katahdin. All right, so we are really close. So that's 3 days of hiking. It's 14 tomorrow. It'll be 10 the next day, assuming we get passes to get into the Birches campground. I can explain more about that as we get closer. And then the last 5 miles are up Mount Katahdin. Of course, you got to walk back down, but that doesn't count. So 29 miles in total that we've got to get done. So yeah, we're doing okay, and yeah, feeling good about today and what we got done here. But I'm happy to say, at least for this hike, I intend not to do another 20-mile day, that's for sure. But it's also good to know that I can. So I hope y'all had an awesome day, and we'll look forward to catching up with you first thing in the morning.